The man charged with murdering a pregnant mother just days after a jury found him not guilty of a double murder will be back in court today. Investigators say Billy Adams, who you see here, shot and killed 22-year-old Alana Sims, who was 5 months pregnant. Her toddler was found asleep inside of a car next to her body. Adams' detention hearing is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Hillsborough County Courthouse.
He does admit to being the one that pulled the trigger and killed Alana Sims on that evening.
Any idea what the motive was?
It would appear that the motive is that he did not want to be in her life anymore and was not ready to, have a child is unfortunately how it appears to us.
New Tampa, Florida. A quiet neighborhood in the Eastern Park subdivision becomes a crime scene. 22-year-old Alana Sims is found outside her SUV, shot multiple times in the upper body. Inside the vehicle, her 18-month-old son sleeps peacefully in his car seat, completely unaware that his mother is gone. Alana was 5 months pregnant with a baby girl. The person who pulled the trigger? Billy Adams, a 25-year-old Tampa rapper who had just walked out of courtroom as a free man 3 days earlier after being acquitted of killing 2 other people. Adams convinced Alana to meet him that night by telling her he was throwing a party to celebrate his court victory. She trusted him. She drove there with her toddler, but there was no party waiting for her. It was a setup that would end 2 lives. How does someone beat a double murder charge on a Friday and commit another murder by Monday? And what went so wrong that Alana never saw it coming? If cases like this make you question how our justice system actually works, hit that subscribe button right now. You need to hear what happened next.
And we begin tonight with a pregnant mother found dead beside an SUV in Tampa. Her 1.5-year-old son asleep and unharmed inside.
Billy Adams is known in the rap world as Ace NH. But in the real world, he is a double murder defendant. In November of 2020, Adams is accused of gunning down 2 men in a converted recording studio in Lutz. Investigators say Adams is a gang member, and they believe the shooting was connected to a gang feud involving weapons and money.
I was facing my computer, and I heard 2 gunshots.
Joseph Meeks owns the studio and witnessed all of it. He testified during Adams' bond hearing.
What did you see?
Basically, all I seen was the people not moving and Adams standing there with a gun.
Aside from being a rap artist, Adams graduated from USF with a bachelor's degree in science in management. The judge agreed to release him on bond with conditions that include house arrest and an ankle monitor. But now Adams tells the court he and his family are sitting ducks after receiving several threatening text messages. Your whole family's gonna die. We want you first, then we want your brothers, then your parents. I want the whole clip dumped into your head. The threats go on and on. Adams' attorney now wants the bond restrictions modified to protect him and his family from any harm. The judge agrees to tweak some of his bail conditions.
We begin tonight with a pregnant mother found dead beside an SUV in Tampa. Her 1.5-year-old son asleep and unharmed inside. Tonight, her family is desperate for answers. This is Nightside. I'm Dave Wagner.
And I'm Angelina Salcido. 22-year-old Alana Sims was found lying in the street last night near the Eastern Park subdivision in New Tampa. Tonight, her family spoke only to 10 Tampa Bay's Shannon Clough, saying they just want to know what happened to her.
Alana's sister tells me she would have been 23 in just 2 weeks. Her 5 siblings are heartbroken knowing she was found in New Tampa. Her son just feet away, unharmed. Tonight, Alana's family says they just want some answers.
Her as a person, she was very selfless.
Alana Sims' sister says she was a single mother with a heart of gold. Tampa police say Alana was found dead in this area of New Tampa. A person called police when they saw her lying in the street near the Eastern Park subdivision. Her 1.5-year-old son was sleeping in an SUV just next to her.
At this point, we're saying that her injuries are upper body trauma. I can tell you that when she was laying on the ground, it appeared that she'd been deceased for at least a bit of time.
Tampa police say Alana was targeted and potentially attacked by someone who knew her. Alana's sister says they grew up in Tampa, but this neighborhood isn't familiar to the family.
so we don't really know why she was in that area.
As far as what happened and who killed her,
We have no idea what has happened.
Harley says Alana's son will be taken care of by family. All of them heartbroken they'll be without their rock.
If Tampa police investigators are right, then Billy Adams is a cold-hearted killer. They believe he plotted to murder a woman who may have been carrying his unborn child, a child he did not want. He's in jail tonight, a place he's very familiar with. News Channel 8's Trevor joining us live with that story. Trevor, you spoke with this young woman's family. They felt Billy was trouble, but they didn't see this coming.
Alana Sims had her whole life ahead of her with her baby boy and the child that she was 5 months pregnant with. That is until police say her boyfriend, Billy Adams, killed her in front of her child. And listen to this. He had just been acquitted of double murder when he lured her with the promise of a celebration. And then he shot her. His motive, police say, becoming a father was not what he wanted.
He does admit to being the one that pulled the trigger and killed Alana Sims on that evening.
Any idea what the motive was?
It would appear that the motive is that he did not want to be in her life anymore and was not ready to, have a child is unfortunately how it appears to us.
Well, now he's behind bars once again, and Alana's family hopes it stays that way.
9 days after getting a call that changed her life, Shalavi Sims received another one Wednesday afternoon.
Praise God on that.
It was a detective on the other end of the line with news they arrested the person they believe killed her 22-year-old daughter, Alana, and unborn grandchild.
Our family and friends were just praying that they catch this monster, and they did. And they did.
Tampa police say Alana's boyfriend, Billy Adams, lured the young mother to the Eastern Park neighborhood last Monday night.
She thought she was going was to attend a party for who she considered to be a boyfriend and who she believes is the father of her unborn child.
Instead, police say when she arrived, Adams shot her to death with her toddler sleeping just feet away in the car. Thankfully, that little boy was not hurt. But police say this happened 3 days after Adams was acquitted of a 2020 double murder.
They made a wrong judgment. They really should have looked at the whole picture and not just thought about, oh, this is just a young person. They need to look that that guy did the same thing to another family. Two at that.
Leaving this family with the constant moments of wondering why.
No need. If you didn't want to be in her life, walk away. She would have been taken care of regardless.
Her family says she was 5 months pregnant with a little girl when she was gunned down. A grandchild they now will never meet, but they say they will make sure Alana is never forgotten.
She was a joyful person, very high spirit. She's going to be dearly missed.
As they now shift their focus to justice.
Justice has been served. I mean, I can't bring my daughter back, but at least we know that the monster that did this will sit behind bars, and maybe he will think now of what he done. If not, may God be with him.
Alana's family says she would have turned 23 years old next Monday, so this weekend they will have a memorial in her honor. But instead of celebrating and lighting candles for her birthday, they are forced to light candles in her memory. Her mother tells me she just wanted everyone to know that without the outpouring of love and support that's really come from near and far, she wouldn't have had the strength to make it through this.
Oh, I just can't imagine what they're going through, Janae. Do we know at this point how police were able to link him to Alana's death?
Yeah, Ali, so police say a few days after this incident happened, they actually brought Adams in trying to figure out maybe if this was retaliation or why someone would want to harm Alana. They say, though, at that time he was giving misleading statements. Things just seemed a bit off. Then they ended up finding video of his vehicle near the area, even though he denied he was in that area at the time. And he ultimately admitted to being the one who pulled the trigger.
Also developing today, the Tampa rapper accused of killing a pregnant woman and her unborn child just days after a jury found him not guilty in a double murder made his first court appearance. You see that virtually right there. Billy Adams going before the judge. While he did not say much, new court documents show he's using a familiar defense. 10 Tampa Bay's Malik Rankin went through the filing, and Malik, it gives us new details on exactly how police say he is connected to the death of Alana Sims.
Today's hearing only lasted a few minutes, but the details revealed in these documents filed ahead of his next hearing on Monday could change what happens. Right now, Billy Adams will remain in jail without bond. In this motion, the state detailed interviews with witnesses and Adams, and how the more questions they asked, the more his story changed. The motion for pretrial detention states Adams told detectives he was home the entire evening of January 30th. That's the night Alana Sims was killed. Documents show Adams gave police video showing him with friends at the villas that night. He recanted those statements after police later determined that the video was recorded on February 1st and was altered to indicate the January 30th date and location. Just days before Sims' death, Adams was acquitted in a double homicide case.
In fear of Mr. Beast being shot or myself being shot.
He claimed self-defense. Now he's giving police a similar argument. Documents say initially the defendant stated that the victim pulled a gun on him, and while the defendant wrestled with the victim, he shot her. When the defendant could not demonstrate the events, the defendant changed his statement to the fact that the victim pulled a gun on him and he was able to get the gun away from the victim, then shot her in the head as self-defense. On Monday, the state will argue that Billy Adams poses a threat of harm to the community and should stay in jail without bond throughout his court proceedings.
A judge denied bond for 25-year-old Billy Adams, who is wearing a red jumpsuit and handcuffs. He's accused of killing Alana Sims, who is 5 months pregnant with Adams' unborn baby, according to investigators.
That's why I have on pink. Yeah, today's her birthday.
Antonia Dudley says her best friend was laid to rest on Sunday.
She was sweet. She had one of the biggest hearts ever. Like, she would do anything for anybody that she loved and she cared about, and she loved her son. Like, she adored him.
The night of her death, Sims' family says Sims thought she was attending a party celebrating Adams' acquittal of a double murder 3 days earlier. In a 2.5-hour statement last week, Adams admitted to killing Sims after confronted with evidence involving the car he was driving and text messages. He claimed self-defense.
People have taken a great interest in this case. The first case has nothing to do with the second one, except in terms of timing.
The public defender representing Adams filed a motion for a protective order to prohibit the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office, Tampa Police Department, and Clerk of Court from commenting and releasing documents concerning this case.
Well, we also, at this point, know that the continued media attention is threatening Mr. Adams' right to a fair trial.
Adams' attorney says the uniqueness of this case could impact Adams' right to a constitutional and fair trial, as well as seating a jury, but the judge denied the motion.
After killing Alana, Billy Adams immediately went into damage control mode. He denied any involvement in her death, and even created a fake alibi video trying to prove he was somewhere else that night. But investigators weren't fooled. They pulled vehicle footage from cameras around the Easton Park subdivision and checked phone records that placed Adams directly at the scene when Alana was killed. When detectives confronted him with this evidence, his entire story began to crumble. That's when Adams changed his approach. He admitted to shooting Alana, but now claimed it was self-defense. According to him, she had pulled a gun on him first, and he had no choice but to fire. Detectives asked him to demonstrate exactly how it happened. He tried to walk them through it, but his account kept shifting. The sequence of events changed. The details didn't line up. And most importantly, no weapon was ever found on Alana or anywhere near her body. When your story changes every time you tell it, that's not self-defense. That's someone scrambling to justify what they did. Prosecutors later made the motive clear. Billy Adams didn't kill Alana because he felt threatened. He killed her because he didn't want to be involved with her anymore. He didn't want the responsibility of being a father to their unborn daughter. Instead of being honest, instead of just walking away like any decent person would, he chose to end her life and the life of their child. On February 8th, 2023, Adams was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and the killing of an unborn child. A judge denied bond, meaning he's been sitting in jail ever since. Prosecutors are pursuing the death penalty, and under Florida law, they only need 8 out of 12 jurors to agree for that sentence to be carried out. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the death penalty is appropriate in a case like this? Should someone who kills a pregnant woman days after beating another murder charge face the ultimate punishment? Leave your answer in the comments below. As of late 2025, Billy Adams is still awaiting trial in Hillsborough County. The case hasn't gone to court yet, but the evidence against him is stacked high. His lies, the phone data, the footage, the confession, it all points in one direction. But while Adams waits for his day in court, Alana's family is living with a loss that never goes away. She was just days from celebrating her 23rd birthday. Her son is growing up without the mother who put him first in everything she did. The baby girl Alana was carrying never got to take her first breath or know the woman who would have loved her. Alana's family described her as selfless and full of joy. They said she was devoted to her son and was looking forward to being a mother too. Now, they're left hoping that this time, the justice system doesn't fail them again. And that brings us to the bigger question this case forces us to face. Billy Adams stood trial in January 2023 for the deaths of Trayvon Albury and Daniel Thompson back in 2020. He claimed self-defense during what he said was a robbery attempt at a recording studio. The jury heard the evidence, followed the law, and acquitted him. 3 days later, he killed again. This isn't about second-guessing that jury. They made their decision based on what was presented in court. But it does raise serious questions about what happens when someone dangerous walks free. How do we protect people like Alana when the system says someone is not guilty, but they're clearly still a threat? Alana believed Billy when he said he wanted to celebrate. She thought maybe he was ready to step up and be part of their daughter's life. She trusted him enough to meet him that night, with her toddler sleeping in the back seat. That trust is what got her killed. If this story made you really think about justice, accountability, and how we protect the people who deserve it most, then share this video. Make sure Alana Sims is remembered as more than just a headline. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel because we're not done telling stories that need to be heard. Billy Adams won his first trial. He's not going to win this one. But for Alana, for her son, and for the daughter who will never grow up, that justice is coming far too late.